Hey everybody, I got 4 movies to talk about today, that being Talk to Me, Asteroid City, Past Lives, and Sound of Freedom. First up is Talk to Me, directed by Danny and Michael Filippo. This movie tells the story of a group of teens who play a game that allows them to talk to spirits, but Mia, our main character, takes the game too far and allows the spirits to enter the world, which brings disastrous consequences. I really enjoyed this film for a number of reasons, one thing being the production. This is a great looking movie. It's well lit. The camera movements are all great, especially in the scenes when the games are being played and the camera has to follow the characters very quickly as they're in the chair and they move around very quickly. The acting all around is really good. Every character is believable, especially from our main character played by Sophie Wilde. There's great sound design, especially when it comes to the more gore and horror-esque aspects of this film, and it really gives you an eerie feeling. The gore in this film is actually really well done, and the makeup for these more gore scenes looks terrifying. I found the first 10 minutes or so kind of boring in this movie, as I wasn't sure what was really going on. But once the characters play the game that allows them to talk to the spirits, the film gets so much more better and much more interesting, and it rarely lets up, as the pacing of the film is very quick afterwards, and rarely lets up. This is a great concept that was executed very well from these two directors. To my understanding, they started their career off on YouTube, and it's really cool to see these new voices in horror because I think these guys have something special. I'm giving Talk to Me a B+. This is a great directorial debut from the Filippo brothers, and I'm excited to see what they do next. Up next is Asteroid City, directed by Wes Anderson. This film tells a story of a family that travels to Asteroid City so they could attend a space cadets event. But the film is presented as if it's a play being televised as the making of the play, but we mainly see the play as if it's just a regular movie. Of course, this is a great looking film. I love the framing that Wes Anderson does. You know it's a Wes Anderson film based on the camera movements and especially the framing with everything being centered. And of course the dialogue with everything being either very descriptive or characters just explaining how they feel in the most simple way possible. It's a star-studded cast and every character gets their own moment to shine. One of my favorite characters being played by Steve Carell, who runs this motel with these very weird vending machines. There were a few moments that I just wanted to get back to the regular movie, that being the play that's being presented to us. And there were some moments where I wasn't sure what the meaning of those specific moments were, especially one moment near the end of the film. But I was immensely satisfied with this movie. There's lots of great jokes in the film. It looks really sharp, and of course, the framing and the camera movements are all extremely well done. There's great characters. And of course, the score composed by Alexander Desplat, who also composed Wes Anderson's last film, The French Dispatch, is great. There's lots of great pieces in it. Although I found his score better for The French Dispatch, the score for this film was still really well done. I'm going to give Asteroid City a B+. Now let's move on to Past Lives, directed by Celine Song. This film tells a story of two childhood friends, Nora and Hay, as they reconnect with each other, and they must confront their feelings for each other, as they both have moved on in their own lives. I thought this film was really damn good, and it was a great directorial debut from Celine Song. She also wrote the film, so you can tell that this is a deep and personal story that she has to tell. To get it off the bat, I found the score to be my favorite aspect of the film. It does a lot of the heavy lifting for the scenes, even though they are very emotional themselves. The score just adds on to it, and there are many great pieces throughout the film, as it amplifies the tones and moods for each scene. It's an extremely well-acted film. Kudos to Greta Lee and Teo Yu, and especially John Magaro, who plays Nora's husband in the film. This is a very good-looking movie with great camera movements, and especially extremely well-done lighting. The framing is also really damn good in this film, as there are a lot of shots that have purpose to them and help the story in a meaningful way. I was never bored throughout the film, but it did feel like it took a while to get to the heavy emotional core of this film, which really appears later on down the line. Although the film is really entertaining all throughout, but the first and second half of this film are two completely different stories. Not that they're two different movies, but they both do two completely different things to help tell the story of these two characters that aren't in each other's lives at the right time. I thought some scenes had a little too much B-roll footage, but that's just a small minimal complaint that I had. What I really like about this film is that it is very bittersweet. You don't get a happy ending with this film. because it's something that a lot of people have to experience in real life. And I'm almost positive that a lot of people can resonate with this film. I thought this was a great film. It's a great directorial debut from Celine Song, and I can't wait to see more of her work. It's an extremely well-made film with great acting, great lighting and camera work, and a deeply resonating story with a bittersweet ending. I'm giving Past Lives a B+. And now our final film of this video, Sound of Freedom, directed by Alejandro Gomez Monteverde. The film tells the story of Tim Ballard, who worked in Homeland Security and caught pedophiles. And in the story of the film, Tim Ballard saves a young boy from child trafficking, but he discovers that the boy's sister is still in the trafficking ring. So he undergoes a mission in order to save as many children from trafficking as he can, as well as save the boy's sister. There are certain events in this film that I remember hearing about a while back, and I'm not sure what's added to the film to make it more appealing, or how accurate the film really is, but this is an excellent film, I believe. It's extremely well made with lots of interesting shots, incredible acting, and a powerful call to action involving the events that take place in the film. There are so many moments in this film where I was really tense because of the awful things that we have to see that take place on screen. That being the harsh reality of what actually happens in this world, child trafficking. I've heard arguments that the film is preachy for the sake of being preachy, but because of most of what we're seeing happen on screen are true events, how they tell the story paired with the actual message of the film, it doesn't seem preachy for the sake of being preachy. It has a strong message, and it succeeds in telling that message paired with the story. This would just be a good and serviceable film if it wasn't for the strong storytelling, as well as the incredible production of the film. This is an incredibly well-made film, and it looks really damn good. There's lots of great shots that have lots of meaning to them. The lighting is excellent in a lot of these shots, and I found the score to be really powerful as well. An issue I had with the film, however, is that there are moments, especially in the second and third act, that don't feel as tense as the moments in the first act, and these moments make the film feel a little sluggish at times. There's just not a whole lot for me to say on this film because I did find it to be really entertaining, but also sad because there are a lot of scenes that could be hard to watch for certain people, but it is a hard truth of what goes on in this world, and I think the film succeeds in telling that story. And being paired with great production value, I think this is a damn good movie, and I'm giving Sound of Freedom an A-. What did you think about these films? Did you like them? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So yeah, bye.